Hey, good evening. It's Friday, April 18th. Welcome back to Everyday Talk 24/7. This is part two of Good Friday. And what I want to focus on tonight, there's so many things we can focus on. What I focus on tonight is the impact of Jesus on the creation. This portion of Matthew's Gospel, which gives us the amazing insight into the relationship of God and His creation. We tend to think we could separate God and put Him in a religious box. And that's one of the great myths of the enemy. He wants us to think that. But notice the relationship here. It reminds us of the Psalms. Remember Psalm 98, where we get joy to the world from. There's rejoicing. The hills, the floods, the rocks, the rivers, they're all rejoicing and anticipating Christ. Now, we see just the opposite. We read Matthew's Gospel, chapter 27, verses 45 through 54. From the 6th hour until the 9th hour, darkness came over the land. The 6th hour, this is when Jesus hung on the cross. And darkness comes over the land. You know, I always remember this growing up, showing how times have changed. I grew up in the town in Southern Virginia. On Good Friday, between 12 and 3, most of the businesses shut down in respect to the death of Jesus. Anyway, about the 9th hour, Jesus cried aloud in a loud voice, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? Quoting from Psalm 22. When some of those standing there heard this, they said, he's calling Elijah. Immediately one of them ran and got a sponge and filled it with wine vinegar and stuck it up on a stick, put it up on a stick, and offered it to Jesus to drink. But the rest said, leave him alone. See if Elijah can come to save him. And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, so he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The significance of this is there is no longer any barrier between you and me and God. The veil is rent. We have access to God. But that's not all that happens. The earth shook. The rocks split. The tombs broke open. And the bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. They came out of the tombs, and after Jesus' resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many people. A miraculous indication of the power of the resurrection of Christ. Wow. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that happened, they were terrified and exclaimed, surely he was the Son of God. So the sky gets dark. Jesus dies. There's this massive earthquake. Rocks split open. That's what you see in the thumbnail tonight. Tombs are opened up and people come out. Jesus, his death, mattered to the creation. The creation responded to the death of Christ in agony. We even read in Romans 8 where the creation groans. We can't separate God from life. We can't separate him from creation. Everything is connected to the life and power of God. And for these few moments in time, The creation knew something horrific had happened, and it responded in kind. The earth shook that day, as it should. But the fact that the Holy Spirit wanted us to remember this, to see this, to think about it, this tells us that the death of Jesus was not some isolated spiritual event, but it impacts all of life. We are connected to God. He's everywhere. As we've talked about before, His breath is the moving of the Spirit. Tomorrow we're going to see this interim time, this dark Saturday as I call it. And then Sunday, everything is going to be made right when Jesus rises and brings healing. But He brings healing not only to people, He brings it to the creation. We are that tightly connected with God. Don't let anybody tell you or fool you or deceive you that God is not alive and moving and a part of everything that we see. This is God's world, and it responds to the power and glory and honor of God. Thank you for being here, and Lord willing, we'll continue looking at Holy Week. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.